Co-Narcissism. What you need to know about it. Welcome to today's topic, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Coach Tobias Forst, and today we will deal with the topic of co-narcissism. This video will comprise of 5 points. We will first elaborate briefly on what co-narcissism is not. Then we will go through what co-narcissism actually is and where the term comes from, what is meant by it. Point number 3, what's a co-narcissist's relationship behavior with and toward a narcissist. Point number 4, what dangers you have to consider when it comes to you wanting to help somebody who's co-narcissistic. And last but not least, point number 5, the good news. So let's get right into it. Point number 1, what co-narcissism is not. Co-narcissism is not you also being a narcissist. It's not co in the sense of cooperation, one narcissist and the co-narcissist being another narcissist. This is not what's meant by it. Leading to point number 2, what is co-narcissism and where does the term come from? It goes back to a Swiss psychotherapist, I think his name was Willi Jürg. And so cheers to Switzerland at this point. And you could also call it complementary narcissism. Complementary narcissism. So imagine this. You're breaking a metal coin in 2 parts. There's a certain fissure between them. And this is not the only fractured coin. There are several there, but you keep one piece. And this has a certain indentations to the side. And you pick and choose others, and they will more or less match, complementarily match with that half of the coin that you're holding. There will be one that will be completely complementary. And this is to facilitate, hopefully, the idea that narcissism is one thing, co-narcissism is something else entirely. But in certain scenarios, in certain personality styles, ideally matched, seamlessly connectable to that coin side of narcissism. I hope I can make this clearer throughout the video. So let's talk about complementary narcissism, complementary co-narcissism. There are certain traits that a co-narcissist exhibits that are typical for co-narcissism. That is the need to be needed, a low self-esteem, low perception of self-value, has a tendency to be, subservient, obedient toward somebody else, in that case the narcissist in the pairing, in the couple. Self-doubt, and a co-narcissist is searching for people who appear strong. However you wish to feel strength, mental fortitude, financially strong, socially strong, physically strong, whatever mix thereof, and bits and pieces and parts, however somebody defines strong, as the attraction to somebody who appears, underline this word, appears strong. Because narcissists are walking facades. The false self, the lights are on, there's nobody in there. So somebody who appears strong has a certain magnetism to that complementary narcissism person, complementary narcissistic person. And they're drawn to that with all those other features that I just mentioned. And to me personally, the most pertinent factor when it comes to co-narcissism is a co-narcissist does not make himself or herself their own mental point of origin, they're making him or her, the narcissist, the mental point of origin, and his or her desires, needs and wishes. Mental point of origin, we've spoken at length on this platform, on this channel about it. You don't really hear much about it at all in psychology nor in coaching in such a way that it would be helpful out there. So we will continue our pro mental point of origin crusade here. You being your own, ideally you being your own mental point of origin, your day should start with the first thought of the day should be yourself, should be about yourself. Your focus with, as Rollo Tomasi calls it, enlightened self-interest should be, how can I help myself, and then be able to help others. Your reach, your effectiveness, your efficiency will be much, much greater if you yourself are standing on a solid column of you being your own mental point of origin, and then extending help somewhere else. Not so the co-narcissist. Mental point of origin is him, is her, their desires, wishes and needs. So whatever can he do, or she do, the co-narcissist, to fulfill those wishes, desires and needs of the narcissistic partner. Doesn't have to be a narcissistic partner, could be another co-narcissist or somebody else or somebody normal. So point number 3, one more thing about mental point of origin. To recap this briefly, the question with you being your own mental point of origin, the question you should ask yourself in your mind with every social, communicative interaction is, how does it affect me? How does it affect me? Is this somebody trying to help you, to support you, to invalidate you, diminish you, shame you, strengthen you, constructively criticize you? Lots of pluses, lots of minuses, lots of pro and con, and you need to analyze this, every social interaction, with this question, how does this behavior of that person affect me? And then judge accordingly. Is this person fit, and does he or she qualify for remaining in your life, yes or no? And the co-narcissist doesn't. How do I affect him or her? That's the question, the wrong question that a co-narcissist asks in their mind when it comes to making the partner their mental point of origin. Point number 3, relationship behaviors with narcissists. How does the co-narcissist behave with a narcissist in a relationship? There is mutual dependence. Mutual dependence. We already know and have discussed at length how dependent narcissists are upon you guys. Narcissists hate this. They hate that they need you. But imagine if a narcissist had a t-shirt with printed letters on it. It would read something akin to this: I will tell you who I am, and you will agree with that. No questions, just a statement. A frightful statement concealed behind an angry mask. Now in comes the codependent, the co-narcissist. And there is no real love, no true love between them. And now some of you might have already figured out that you at some point were co-narcissistic. And you might say, Tobias, I was co-narcissistic. Yes, I agree, I was dependent, but my love was real. You're telling me my love was not real, but I must tell you my love was real. My response to that is this. It's good, first of all, that you figured it out, what your specific problem and behavior was at a certain point of time, or until a certain point in time. And at the same time, the love that you had was not to an existing person, because what you saw was not a real person. You were in love with a fantasy. You were in love with a screen. And at the same time, you were in love with the role that this screen assigned to you. That is why I have to tell you, if that applies to you, that also your love was not real. Co-narcissists want to be needed. They need to fulfill a role of usefulness. And at the same time, you might ask, why do they stay when they get invalidated all the time, being with a narcissist? There comes in play the lack of self-confidence, self-worth, little self-worth, and the limiting belief with a great many people that all the invalidations that are flying their way, and have been for years, they must be merited, must be them, must be the co-narcissists themselves, that how could it be any other way? This is what they've known all their life. So this is basically a self-fulfilling prophecy, that limiting belief. They know, they choose to believe that all the invalidations, the cheating, the lying, is part of the deal, because they don't deserve better, is what they think. But that point I will pick out later when we come to the good news in point number 5, so keep that in mind. Now, when it comes to narcissist and co-narcissist in a couple, there is sort of the perfect match. The perfect match. You can interchange the genders. Let's say he is the narcissist. A narcissist comes with the shirt print, I will tell you who I am and you will agree. And then there comes a person with a shirt, a woman joining in, with a shirt, I don't know who I am, please tell me. That is a borderline woman. Or if you change the genders, it's the narcissistic woman, the narcissist woman, and the borderline man. That is the perfect match between a narcissist and a co-narcissist. It's utter chaos and drama all the time. Best you can do is step away from it and be thankful that you're not one of them. Ladies and gentlemen, love is all about giving. Love is not about giving in order to receive. And whoever cannot live by this mindset should not, must not qualify for the role of intimate partner in your life. Point number 4. Let's say you've done your homework. You've been working on years on end to liberate yourself from toxic people, analyze, name, disband and dissolve limiting beliefs. You've been working on yourself tirelessly, and you've increasingly reaped the benefits of your proactive change that you went through. Now all of a sudden, or over time, it's not really all of a sudden, over time you find, looking at a good friend of yours, male, female, doesn't matter, that they're actually codependent, that they're co-narcissists. And you see that their partner, the girlfriend, the boyfriend, husband, wife, is in fact a narcissist. Highly narcissistic traits, continuously over the years observable. And you feel the urge, I want to help him, I want to help her, the co-narcissist in that setting. And to conclude this point with, or to extrapolate my recommendation before I go into a bit more detail, I recommend whenever you have this urge to help a codependent who did not ask for your help, don't. Step back and let him or her figure it out. And allow them to fail at figuring it out. Why? Why do I recommend that? Remember, please, that co-narcissists want to appeal. They want to be needed. They want to impress, to get a bit of self-worth externalized to him or her back, so in order that they can feel better. Now here you come with a recommendation and an explanation, and you're not his or her intimate partner, so you're not the priority for them to please. The intimate partner is. And you, with your authentic help you want to render, run the risk of being turned into an enemy. Because he or she tells their boyfriend or girlfriend what you told him or her. And you don't have to even wait 2 days in most cases until you're allegedly the one who tries to split that relationship open. And you're apparently the jealous one, the envious one, the petty one, the wannabe psychologist. And the list is long. And over time, over a course of a few weeks or months, your long-time friendship with this person that you've identified as codependent, co-narcissistic, will be over. So, my recommendation: stay out of their business and let them take responsibility and reap the results of that responsibility or lack thereof on their own. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, point number 5, the good news. The good news. Narcissism cannot be cured. There's no therapy for narcissism. Co-narcissism, however, can be cleaned out with therapy. Co-narcissism, you can help a co-narcissist with coaching if you have the choice to do both. Engage in therapy and coaching. I recommend you do both, regardless of the waiting times. Your possible co-narcissism doesn't have to be your behavioral railroad to the end of your life. you can change course. And there are people who've walked that way, who have the tools, the means, and the understanding and the skill to do that. And you don't have to find out and stumble in the dark all on your own. Because you're not. You're not alone in this. If co-narcissism is something that afflicts you, and it is something that can be helped with therapy and with coaching. If you want my help with this, you can find my contact details below. If you want to go to therapy, I recommend that you try to reserve your spot as soon as possible with a local therapist in your vicinity. And it doesn't matter if the waiting time is 4 months or 12 months, because with every week that you let pass until you make such an attempt to reserve a spot is a week you wait longer. So it all comes down to you, ladies and gentlemen. How much do you want this? How much are you fed up with the status quo? How much do you want to break out? And remember, be your own hero, be your own heroine. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.